Hi everyone, welcome back to my room. So as you can see from the title, a lot of you have been asking about colleges in Shillong. Not a lot of you, it's just I think just 3 people asked me. In this video, I'll be talking about colleges, application, the process. It might not be very detailed, but I'll try my best to clear your doubts as much as possible. I've talked about this college thing and about my course in my previous video, in one of my videos, where I talked about DU and everything. But some of them are still asking me about what course I'm pursuing, so I'll be talking about that too. And also I'll be talking about my breakup. So if you're watching this, please make yourself a cup of tea and sit down and watch, and let's talk. And before proceeding, I will also mention about some certain things. I came across this vlogger, she's also from Shillong. I think her name is Marisa. So I came across her and she made a video about that, about how she got into San Antonio and how she left San Antonio and how she joined Nihu. So that video greatly inspired me to, make something related to it. And I also noticed that she is so grateful how she is content with her performance in her board exams. And that is something that I noticed that I did not really feel. I mean, I've never really talked about my results. I've never really... I talked about it. I talked so much. I've talked so much about my results and how disappointed I am. And how, it became this cycle of depression for me. I keep talking it to my best friend. Whenever I get close to a new person, I talked about my failure and I never really appreciate myself for that. And so before starting, we will talk about my board results and the whole process of getting admission. It will be a story time, and as well as me guiding you towards, if at all this video turns out to be an informative video. Let me just put on my foundation first. So talking about about my class 12 results. I got new cats and they are just... I'm so annoyed by this cat. I'm so done with these cats. I thought I would try to, find my maternal instincts. I would try to, search that side of me that is loving and caring. Maybe I would nurture them. It's been 2 days and I'm so done with the cats. So in my 12, these are my marks. This is for the thumbnail. The full mark is 100 and I got 95 in English. And sociology I got 91. Political science I got 97 and that's the highest I got. And for history I got 93. Education, surprisingly I got 94 because I was so done with the subject. I complained to my teacher about I don't understand this, I cannot do this, this subject is so stupid. It's not stupid, but I really hated the subject because there was no space for, education as it sounds. It's more like the school, the academic criteria, the school process and everything, but it's not that. It's broader than that. My friends who are taking education, they know this very well, that education, it's more or less like psychology and statistics. So in those areas I cannot, and I hate statistics. Education was such a hard subject, and because there is no room for creativity about it, because there are certain psychological law, we talk about the Pavlov theory. We cannot change those theories, so it has to be exact. I was just surprised that I got 94 in education, and I got 90 in dreams. I got 89 in alternative English, which is so surprising because this alternative English always fucks me up. This alternative English always, makes this, beautiful marks, yeah, but makes these things so ugly. Like, I got all 90s and I got 89 in alternative English. Like, and alternative English, to be honest, is my favorite subject. I really wanted to make my teacher proud. Because I really like the teacher. I really had a very good relationship with her. So I really wanted to make her proud. And my lowest mark. And I couldn't be more surprised because in Nagaland, it's more like in Nagaland. But MBSC, I'm talking to you. If you're watching this video, fix your system. Alternative English, it's more, the questions are more philosophical in nature. So when they asked about something, we have to, they ask questions like, what are your opinion about this? Give a critical analysis. It's not that I'm bullshitting in my papers, but I'm writing the answers. I'm giving them my critical opinion related to what they are asking. So it depends on the reader. So in total, I got 94% in my 12 boards. And I don't have the hard copy for my class 10 results, but let me just look at my phone. And for class 10 boards, I got 99 in social science. Environmental studies, I got 99. And science, I got 94. English, I got 92. Maths, I got 90. Maths. And what was the other subject? And alternative English. I got 90. What's wrong with me and 94? And alternative English, I got 84. And total sums up to 93%. So yeah, I should be really grateful, but this bitch in me is not grateful. So that's my mark for these subjects. And now when I think about it, it makes me sad that I was very close, yet I couldn't make it. And now in college, क्या ही बताओ, कुछ पढ़ाई नहीं हो रहा, कुछ academic comeback भी नहीं हो रहा. This is my cat, and he eats, and I don't know what gender it is, but this cat eats, and his name is Aaron, and he eats and he obeys me, and he doesn't make much noise. Ow. This is Amethyst cat, my friend. See, doesn't eat, makes so much noise. Money. Zira, you should go and watch my previous video where I talk about why I did not join DU and stuff. Now comes to the question, why did I take up philosophy? To be very frank, I had no Zira. I had no idea about philosophy, and my only option was liberal arts, psychology, English, and political science was like, my plan Z or something. Yeah, it was on my last priority. If you are appearing for CUET for colleges, I would advise you to, apply to as much as colleges, government colleges as possible, and pick up as much as subjects, because unlike the PG, CUET for UG, it depends on the subject. So I think the total marks goes around 1000 something. So it depends on even if you score very less in maths, for example, you can score on the other subjects. So it depends on the more subjects you pick. I picked only 4 subjects. So when I was looking for admission in Shillong, I saw philosophy. The first thing that took my whole interest was philosophy. I was going through the St. Anthony's page, St. Anthony's portal, and then the course offered were like political science, English, and philosophy. So I did not have any second thought. I just applied for philosophy, and I think within the next few minutes I got admitted that I can do the admission in philosophy. So after the admission, I started researching about philosophy, and it was it was the perfect choice. It was the most sane decision. And now that I'm in philosophy department, though I'm not as much of a regular student, my professors are so good. Like I said, I don't attend much classes. I'm very irregular, but when I, it's not that I don't look into my subject. I read about my subject, so it's so interesting. We talk about religion, that is like my favorite. We talk about political science, we talk about literature as in the form of existentialism and that. We talk about physics, we talk about metaphysics, we talk about biology, we talk about basic maths, logic, everything. We talk about Pythagoras. So yeah, for those who are asking me, I'm in my 4th semester doing philosophy. I'm currently giving my 4th semester exams. So next semester I'll be in my 5th semester. So coming back, how do you get in St. Anthony's College? St. Anthony's, CUT score is required, but if you have good marks in your board results in your 12 exams, then you can easily get in. If you get around 70 to 80, then you don't need your CUT thing, you can just get admission. And yeah, the infrastructure wise, it's nice, but the campus is really small. Moreover, it's Shillong, so what can you expect? One thing that you have to be careful, while taking admission is because for St. Anthony's, we have 3 shifts. Since there are lots of students, you might pick political science or BCom as your major, but you are not guaranteed that, in the form, they ask like, what is your second preference? In your form, you filled up that for my major, I'll do BBA, and for my minor, I'll go for political science. But it's not guaranteed that you will get in political science because there's so many other students. That is the most annoying part. They might just randomly put you anywhere in any department. For example, for me, since I got all the subjects that I wanted except for my MDC. So my major was philosophy in 1st semester, my minor was political science, my AEC was this English thing, and VAC was Indian history or something. And for my MDC, I picked psychology because I know that will boost my GPA, and that in that domain, in that area, in that subject, I can do better. And my interest aligns with psychology, so I want to do that. But they decided, no, you are not doing psychology, you are doing maths. So I even went to the office, but they said that no, you can't do this. Maths is essential. You need to have basic knowledge about maths and everything. So I was forced to take up maths, and my GPA, it affected my GPA because now in college I don't have the capacity to do maths. And it was not even like, they said basic maths. They said you need basic maths, but it was not basic. It was so, even the teacher had no idea where the question will come from. Even the teacher had no idea what to teach. So they were just teaching us everything possible. So yeah, if you are deciding whether to take admission in Anthony's, you have to be very wise with you have to think wisely. Think 1,000 times, 100 times. And the other colleges in Shillong, for example, admins, there are lots of other colleges in Shillong, but I would just advise you to, for me, my top preferences are St. Anthony's and St. Edmunds. There are other good colleges, for example, St. Mary's, that's a women's college, so if you don't want to get distracted, or if you want to focus on your goal, then you can go to that college. But the other colleges, they don't really stand out for me personally, so it's just Edmunds and Anthony's. So now let's compare and contrast. Yeah, so now let's compare Anthony's and Edmunds. So Anthony's and Edmunds, they are like Hindu and Stephens in Delhi. So Anthony, so Anthony, it's more like Hindu college, and Edmunds is more like Stephen College. Because St. Anthony's, it's more, we have uniform, and we have those Paraku students, and just kya bolu, Anthony's ka jo banda log hai wo, it gives off that typical academic vibes. So yeah, Anthony is more of that. And for Edmunds, why it is more like Stephen, because they are fashionable students. Anthony nulio ate primego kimirse. Just joking. There are lots of mainland people, mainland students. So yeah, but in admins there are more northeastern students, more students from Nagaland, more students from Arunachal, more students from Tripura, more students from just it's just very northeastern. And campus wise, admins is so lush and green, and it's nice. Admins is nice, and Anthony's it's more very very stereotypical college infrastructure and campus. So yeah, you can go to admins because admins is really good. But if you are a lazy student like me, if you are very irregular, I would ask you to go to admins. I would ask you to come to Anthony's. It might look very strict, and I'm not saying it's not. It is, but we wear uniform and everything, and we have this. We can use our phone in the campus and everything. But attendance wise, admins is so strict that is all about San Anthony's and San Edmunds. So you can decide carefully which college you want to join. I mean, it's up to you now. I stayed on my part. So now let's talk about my breakup. Yeah. Why do I make it sound so exciting? It's not like I did not date before. I dated some people. It did not really affect me. We dated, and ended up on good terms. Like, और कुछ नहीं. हो गया, date किया, बस हो गया. After I joined college, second semester, I started dating this person, and साला इतना downfall हुआ मेरा. Like, it was so bad. We met on Instagram. That's the first sign of like, no, you don't do this. Don't do this. Tu pachtaega. But I was so desperate. I was so desperate to date. So I started dating this. I started dating this person that I made on Instagram. I mean, we follow each other. I mean, that person followed me first. Let me make it very clear to you. I did not follow. Let me tell you how it started. So, it started off as, so I wrote something, I keep posting about those things in my main account. And one day, that person DM'd me regarding a poem that I wrote, and they were like, oh my goodness, you are such a good writer. Yeah, I relate to this so much. And I was like, oh, thank you so much and all that. And I just left the conversation at that because I had no intentions of like, I had no intentions, and I had no idea about that person. So I just took it as a mutual complimenting me, and me buying that compliment, and appreciating the art of compliment. So yes, I took that compliment and I say thank you. What? Yes, so let's proceed. And I say thank you, and just the conversation got over there. But then this person texted me again saying, oh, like I wrote this thing, like this poem, and we match so much. Like there's so much similarities between us, you and I, and all that. And I was like, okay, yeah, thank you. And so, out of politeness, out of formalities, I asked, okay, so like, I gave into the conversation, like, where are you from? What is your name? What do you do? And I thought at first that person was in Shillong, but that person was not in Shillong. That person was from another state, from a neighboring state. So yeah, and I was like, oh, I thought you were in Shillong and all that. Yeah, like, oh, like you read books too? Yes, I read books. I love Oscar Wilde, because whenever I meet a person, I talk about Oscar Wilde. So yes. And then that person was like, oh, I love reading too. The Twilight series is my favorite. The series. I know that person did not read. I know that you did not read the Twilight series. You just watched the movie and you were talking about like you read that, bitch. And so, yes, I was like, oh my goodness, this person is a reader. This person, plays soccer. This person is good in academics, because I always have this thing for students who are from STEM. I don't like students from, I don't like a person from humanities. I like a person romantically. I like a person when they are from STEM. Also like starting, you know, the spark was coming out like, I like you. So yes, so we continued talk, and at the time that person was very active. You know, we would do the matching PFP thing, and I did not ask that person to. I did not ask them to do the matching PFP. They were like, "Can you please change your profile picture so that we can do this from Heartstopper?" So I was like, "Okay," and you know, I just followed through, and we did matching PFP, and that person would write about, you know, notes, Instagram notes, would write about me. Tino did this for me, Tino and I, we are talking about this, Tino likes about me this, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is so nice. And it was like, so the conversations were so cheesy, like, okay, like, oh, let's get married in the future, let's have this number of kids. Let's, you know, take this vacation. And you know, I was because I read fictional things, I read Wattpad. What can you expect from me? I am very delusional. I want that joke and the nerd thing kind of love story that drop, you know, in my life. And when the person is academic, that's just my weakness. So I was like, yes. Suddenly we exchanged numbers, and the way they asked for my number, it was so cheesy. We exchanged number, and we started calling each other. And when they call me, I'm like, because at that point, even my best friend did not know that I'm talking to this person. I was like, I'm just talking to this person. I did not tell them that it went to that extent. So I did not tell any of my friends that I'm talking to someone. So when that person calls me, my best friend would be sleeping in the room, and I would just run. Like, I would just go out, and I was just like, yes. I think now it like, we talked for around 3 weeks, and on the 3rd week, that person asked me out, and I was like, oh yes, oh, definitely I would date you, but I have some conditions for you to date me. Girl. So my conditions were, you know, I made 17 lists for that person to follow. Like, if you're dating me, you cannot see this person. If you're dating me, you cannot do this. We are never breaking up, and all these things. Like, we are never breaking up. I think I mentioned it more than twice, but phrasing it differently. So I sent that person, and I was like, so if you can, you know, follow these things, like, my answer would be yes. The person was like, okay, this is like, I would definitely, like, I would never break your trust. I would never, you know, I promise you. And we started dating. Jokes aside, I was really serious, and I really liked that person. I really liked them. So yeah, I was so happy about it. Like, for that few weeks, I was so happy. Zilai. But like every Instagram love story, we fell off. Like, that person started, and I was like calling them, you know, crying, begging, and we broke up. But that's not the end. We broke up, and I cried so much, and I was like, oh, please, and I was like, please don't leave me, and all that thing. And we got back together the second time, and for some few days, that person was so nice again, and we fell out again. And I was like, please come back, don't leave me. And we broke up again, and we patched up again. But that was the last straw for me. Not last straw for me, I was not able to get over. So yeah, and by then I started dating someone else. I was so shameless, but at that time, self-respect was not a thing for me. I had zero self-respect. You know, all the butterflies and everything, it turned into moth. Like, I was telling my favorite teacher about it. I was telling everyone. I was basically even telling my parents, like, this person I was dating left me. But it was so bad because it's not only just that person leaving me, but maybe I had set up too much expectations for myself and for them. Like, I had imagined so many scenarios in my head, so many possibilities. I think that's the reason why I couldn't get over them. But yeah, apart from all that, it's not only just because that person, like, they dumped me. It's more about like humiliation. Like, I think I have so much ego and I have so much pride. Or even if it's not about pride, it's not about ego, I just felt so humiliated. Like, I just felt so embarrassed, you know. I was telling my friends all this, like, I was telling my friends, like, I was so happy, and I was telling my friends, Esa, like, we talk about this, and suddenly that person ghosts me, that person leaves me. So the level of humiliation, the level of, you know, embarrassment, my self-worth, I felt it so much. Like, oh, maybe because there is someone out there who is better than me, there is someone out there who is prettier, there is someone out there who is, like, you know, all these things, you know, there is someone who is, like, flawless, there is someone who looks good without makeup, who has perfect skin, you know, perfect family, and everything perfect about them. So that thought of them picking someone better than you, it's not like that person cheated on me, you know, it's not like that person left me because they found someone better. But you know, all these thoughts scripts in your mind during that process, during your breakup vacation. Even the thought that they can love someone, you know, with all this, they can commit to someone, they can do, like, they can do, because at the end of the day, of course, that person is also a human. So all of us human, we have someone that we like, we have someone that we care for, we have someone that we can do anything for. Like, I can die for that person, I can die for this person, I can give my life for this person, I'll do anything to, you know, be with this person. So the thought of, like, me not being the one, and then someone else or someone would be the one that person would do, they will do all this for, like, they would die for, they would love them, you know, they will love them, they will love their perfections and imperfections, they will love their flaws. So the thought that me not being the one they will be giving all this to made me so mad, and made me so furious, and made me feel so unworthy about myself, because I was just left with, like, why I couldn't be that, why I couldn't be this, why I couldn't be all that for you, why I couldn't be the one you would do these things for. So I think more or less it was that thought that made me, like, that was the sole reason why I couldn't move on from my ex. And yeah, slowly my friends, they played a great part. They helped me so much, and I really appreciate them for that. One night when I was, you know, really mad and sad, because when we broke up, they did not give a definite reason, or, you know, a reason that would make me shut up. So I texted them a long paragraph, why me, and why I was the person that they have to do these things to, they have to leave, they couldn't love, and I was just asking for a reason. Oh my eyebrows. So I asked them, and I texted. It was very sensitive to me, the long paragraph. Like, I was sad, frustrated, and I really wanted a reason. So I texted them, and that person replied back, but when I send them the message, they copy pasted that message and let AI reply to that message, because I'm not stupid that, or I'm not dumb that I don't know like how the language structure that AI uses. So that means that the person did not even, give it a thought. Or then on, I just blocked their number, I deleted that number, and I started focusing on myself. So it was really painful, but it was really painful and it was really hard for me. But yeah, I'm here now, and I still do think about it. I still do think about the reason why, what might be the reason, or what might be their purpose for all those things. And when in the initial stage of breakup, I was also holding grudges and everything. Like I was like so mad. Like if I meet this person, I would kill them, I would beat them. I would do black magic on them. I would I was questioning their parenting, how their parents must be, and I was hating on the whole community. I was just being very typical. But now, I think I realized that it's nothing. Like maybe it happened for the good for me. Maybe it happened because I needed that lesson, or maybe they had their own reason. Like I'm not saying the reasons are justifiable. Maybe I'm not the best person to be dating, or maybe I am not all that. So I just accepted it, and it just became neutral. And now, honestly, I don't have anything against them. I just wish them, well in life. I just wish them that they do better, or they do well in their life. And I just hope and wish that whatever they did to me, they don't do it to another person, because emotions and feelings are not, something to be made fun of, something to be, taken for granted because it's someone's feeling. That's it for this video.